let this breathe.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel Gamecocks every single day. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. And wherever you get your podcast, you can find your man, Captain Will. Thank you for making Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will your first source of coverage for the South Carolina women's basketball team. Thank you. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are talking about the building a future. Building a future, and we're going to discuss the 2026 prospects that I think, will fit particular roles and be superstar level players for the South Carolina Gamecocks in the class of 2026 to help continue the dynasty that we've been rocking with for so long. The South Carolina Gamecocks have been recruiting so well, I would say over the last 7, 8, 9 years, so well. And I think sometimes we take for granted of the Dawn Staley era. I think that we have became a little, like I said before, we became spoiled. I believe that, and it's not easy to recruit. It's not easy to get players the caliber to South Carolina. It's not easy for recruits to pacify themselves and play the role that they are given at South Carolina, three-time national champions. And if you buy into the system and you buy into Dawn Staley, you're going to continue the legacy of dominance that has been going on for many years. Dawn Staley has recruited, has created a culture of winning, not a culture of superstars. She hasn't created that type of culture at the University of South Carolina. You're not going to come to South Carolina and average 30 points. You're not going to come to South Carolina and average 16 rebounds. You're not going to do those things. You're not going to have 9, 10 assists per basketball game. But what you will get at the University of South Carolina, you're going to get the opportunity to practice against the best every single day. No, there's only a few teams out there that can say they practice against the best players every single day. Only a few teams. And you have the opportunity. You will have the opportunity to go to the W. There's not a lot of teams that can say that if you buy in, and that's the key, buy in this era of NIL, in this era of transfer. You got some ladies already in the transfer portal now. Already in the transfer portal. That has been in the transfer portal for a minute because they are seeking out the best opportunity for them. Sometimes the best opportunity for you is to stay your butt there and grind. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. South Carolina has a pipeline of recruits for the state of South Carolina. If you are if you're a top 30 recruit in South Carolina, you will be a Gamecock. You'll be a Gamecock. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's going to be while Dawn Staley is here. The top level 5-star recruits, McDonald's All-Americans that come from this little old state of South Kakalaki will be a Gamecock. Will be a Gamecock. And history says that. We can go way back to recently, that is it. But with Carolina, because even though South Carolina produces great talent per capita, there's not every year where Carolina actually has a top 30 recruit. This year is one of those. We didn't have a top 30 recruit in the state of South Carolina. It just didn't happen. So you got to reach out further. You got to cast that net to bring in other recruits. So for class of 2025, we have Ayla McDowell. You know, she's going to be here. We have her, a 5-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, all, you know, the greatness of her. A big wing who can score, defend, rebound the basketball. We might have a got maker, number 6 overall recruit. Some say number 4 overall recruit. Deciding between Michigan State, UConn, and South Carolina. She was at a recent game. You know, you have to reach out. Aaliyah Chavez is still out there. I think we got a higher shot of getting a Gott versus Chavez, but it's still a possibility. But that 2026 class is important in my eyes because the numbers will be different. We will have several players gone off this current team. Now it's going to be, you know, I anticipate a couple of transfer portal additions this year, or after the season, I should say. But for class of 2026, I have 3 players that I feel good about. That I feel good about our chances of getting. That I feel good about they will do well in a South Carolina uniform. You know, and the first player I'm going to talk about is Olivia Edwards. That's the first player. 6'3" forward from Elite Sports Academy in Washington. Okay. We've seen so much about Olivia Edwards. So much. We've seen the Band-Aid on her face. We've seen the dunking. She's been dunking since 7th or 8th grade. We've seen, you know, the pic that I think kind of went viral. Her standing next to Dawn Staley. People are like, damn, how tall is she? Olivia Edwards is a difference maker. She's the number 3 overall recruit in the class of 2026. She is a forward. She's in the mode of another 6'3" forward that we have from the state of South Carolina in Ashlyn Watkins. They are very similar players. And she's quick enough. She's quick enough. This is the thing. She's quick enough to play the wing. She's not a player that you got to put in the 4 or the 5. She's quick enough to play in the wing. She has enough dribbling ability to play that. But South Carolina, she'll be in the post. She'll be in the post. She can drive to the basket. She can post up. She can shoot the ball. She can guard multiple positions. All those check boxes for a player that fits in with us. That is Dawn Staley's type player in the post. And here's the thing, y'all, because we're gonna hear, oh, Cap, we need a 6'5", 6'6" player in the post because we can't guard them. Well, here's the thing: there ain't none. There are none in the class of 2026 who are 6'5" or 6'6" in the top 60. Okay, so there ain't none. That's a misnomer, if you will. That is an anomaly. Most of the players, most of the great post players that come into the college basketball scene are 6'3" or 6'4". That's the reality of it. And Olivia Edwards is that best player. She is special. She is special. Another player that we could talk about is Jordan Jackson. Jordan Jackson, 6'1" wing. She's from Washington, D.C. I think a high school Sidwell friends. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's, no, I ain't gonna say that because I might be wrong. I ain't gonna say that. She's ranked number 9. She's ranked number 9 in the class of 2026, and she can score. She can score, and she can score. She also can defend. But most importantly, she can score. She's a 3-level scorer. We've been talking a whole lot about the current basketball team and scoring We need scorers who can also defend. Not necessarily defenders who can score. Over the last few weeks, talking about scorers who can defend. And Jordan Jackson is that. She's a very, very well-rounded player. She can rebound the basketball. She can play multiple positions. And with that being said, she can guard multiple positions. She would fit well in the switching situations that South Carolina does. I really like Jordan Jackson. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I really like her game and how it would fit well with South Carolina. I really do. I think that girl going to be really good. I do. I got a long time to talk about Jordan Jackson, but I kind of feel good about her. And I feel good about if she was to choose South Carolina, how she would fit in. The final player I'm going to talk about in the class of 2026 is a player. Her name is McKenna Woliczko. McKenna is 6'2", and another thing, she's another wing. You got three players who are long, who can guard. And McKenna's from San Jose, California. She's right now the 6th overall recruit, has Team USA experience. You know, she was playing on the best basketball team in the country, the number one player on the best basketball team in the country. And she was playing a team that is led by number one overall recruit, Kalina Smith, class of 2027. Playing that, I think it was number one versus number two. And McKenna tore her ACL. That was in January. She's already had the surgery, already doing the rehab, already doing, much better. But what I like about McKenna is I think she's a multiple player. And she fits, something in Carolina that we have but don't necessarily have. Stay with me for a second, okay? She is ultra talented. There's been a lot of cases that McKenna should be the number in the top 3 in this class of 2026. I think if she wasn't injured, if she didn't tear her ACL, I think she would be. I think she would have rose up to top 3. But she tore her ACL. She had a long time to recuperate, though, going into her senior year next year. Will she fall? I hope not. But if she does fall, it's not a lack of talent. It's because of lack of, evaluating and believing in that talent. With McKenna, I talked about how I love Jordan Jackson. I feel the same way about her because she damn sure can score the basketball. And she can rebound. She got good size, 6'2", and she can handle it. She can handle the ball. When you are selected for Team USA, when you win a gold medal at a young age and play with other high-quality players on your team and internationally, I look at you different. I look at you different. I like you've been there. And that's how I feel about her. I really like her. And I kind of like our odds of McKenna becoming a top 3, or I should say South Carolina becoming a top 3 team when she limits that list down sometime this year. When we go into the 2026-2027 season, and like, Kat, what you talking about? We still in the 2024-25 season. I'm skipping over because next year, right now we only getting Adhel McDaniel, okay? So for the 2025-2026 season. So that 2026-2027 season, you're going to have MiLaysia Fulwiley, who's going to be a senior. You're going to have Tessa Johnson, who's a senior. Those players will be seniors. Maddy McDaniel will be a junior. Adhel Tac will be a junior. Joyce Edwards will be a junior. Adhel McDaniel will be a sophomore. Hopefully a God Maker will be on the team, so that will make us 7 players on the current potential roster. Should be a sophomore. Okay? So you're going to need numbers for the 2026 class. I know I already said that you're going to get a couple folks during this transfer portal, this after the season's end, you know. But will those players be a younger type player who will be here for, you know, a couple years? Or will it be a player who's just going to be here for 1 year? We'll see. But the talent and how the players I just mentioned, and McKenna and Jordan and Olivia, would be seamless. They would fill some ultimate needs for us. First of all, you're talking about 3 players who can play 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Like, Cap, what you talking about? What you talking about? I'm talking about switching. No, give me to that. I ain't lost my mind yet. I ain't do that. I ain't saying about going small. I ain't saying that. Olivia Edwards could play the 5 for South Carolina. She could. She's Ashlyn Watkins. She's Ashlyn Watkins. Put your mind on that. She's Ashlyn Watkins. Jordan Jackson. When I see Jordan Jackson, I think of probably a better scoring version of Bree Hall, who's a little bit bigger. That's how I see her. When Bree Hall was recruited out of Ohio, she was the 14th overall recruit. Right now, Jordan Jackson is the 9th overall recruit. That can go up or that can go down. I think she's a dog. I think she'll fit so well for us. And I think that, you know, because the players I mentioned who's going to be seniors and juniors and so forth, well, these will be freshmen, okay? These will be freshman players. If we got all 3, if we got 2, or if we got 1, it can go a number of ways. But with Jordan Jackson, like I said before, I think she's a bigger version and a better shooting version of Bree Hall. That's how I see her. And McKenna Woliczko, I mean, she's nice. She's nice. The easy comparison is Chloe. That's the easy comparison to a similarity to what we have at the University of South Carolina. But I'm gonna throw another name at you. Another name at you that might be a little surprising when we're talking about McKenna. I think that if we got McKenna, and if we have the version of McKenna that we saw, or at least I saw before the injury, we're talking about the top 3 overall recruit type talent. You can say, you can throw it out there. You can throw it out there a little bit that you getting a similar version of Sarah Strong. That's just a similar. I ain't saying they dislike. I ain't saying nothing like that. Just a similar version. I think that Sarah can shoot the 3 a little bit better, but McKenna is nice. She is nice, and she would be great in a South Carolina women's basketball uniform, going in black, white and garnet, however, black on black, whatever uniform it is. Should be nice. I love those 3 players. I wish that we got all 3 of them. The potential for this class to build on this, the success that Carolina has had over the past 5, 6, 7 years would be great. Because you're not necessarily, you don't have a blank slate when you talk about South Carolina. There's going to be so much talent on the roster if and when these players arrive in 2026. But like we saw with Joyce stepping in and getting ample playing time, like we saw with Fulwiley, the same thing. Like we saw in Tessa late last year, the same thing. We're seeing with Maddy getting about 15 minutes per basketball game, getting back to the Maddy that we know and love. What if we got two out of 3 these players? Well, let's say right now, what if we had Jordan and McKenna to go with the players that be on the 2026-27 roster, to go with MiLaysia, to go with Tessa, to go with Joyce, to go with Maddy, and all those great players. You would have a team that would have multiple wings, multiple abilities to switch, multiple players who can shoot the ball while also being able to defend. That's what I see in these players. That's what I see in these players. The next chapter in 2026, 2027 is going to be very exciting for Gamecock fans because I think it's going to be a big class. I really do. I would not be surprised if we get 4 or 5 players in that recruiting class. It is time for a big recruiting cycle for the University of South Carolina. It's time to go back to 2021 when we got Raven and we got Sania Rivers and we got Feagin and we got Breezy. It's that time to get a nice chunk of the future. And that 2026 class is special with that. Whenever I talk about 2027 class, I can't wait to talk about 2027 class because I want Kalina Smith on this team. We can make the case because we're hearing a whole lot about Leah Chavez. We're hearing so much about Leah Chavez. So Leah Chavez, wonderful, terrific basketball player, currently ranked the #1 player in the class of 2025. I could make the case that Kalina Smith, class of 2027, who happens to be the #1 overall recruit in the class of 2027, could be the best player in high school right now. I can make that case. That girl is nice. She is nice. Babyface is nice. Babyface is sassy. That's what I'm gonna call her. I'm calling her right now. But we're talking about the 2026 class. So I don't want to go too far. But I'm excited about the 2027 class. I'm telling you I am. Fans need to be excited. Fans need to be excited about the upcoming future for the South Carolina women's basketball team. No, I know we just got blown out by UConn, so fans are a little down. We're a little down, and like, okay, we got to figure this thing out. We got to do what we got to do. We got to beat up on Arkansas tomorrow night and make us feel better. I need to feel better about myself in the South Carolina women's basketball team. The team needs to feel better about themselves. Because we know they didn't play the best. No way. They play the best. We play tomorrow against Arkansas. It will be a blowout. It will be ugly. It will be disgusting. It's going to be stank. It's going to be a situation where Arkansas is going to feel the full brunt of South Carolina at home. Them the facts. I don't think there's enough conversation at this point when talking about future recruits. When Southern Cal, quote unquote, won the recruiting war for the class of 2024, because they had so many recruits. They had a big class. And a few of those players, are getting really good playing time and playing well for Southern Cal. And, we have a plethora of recruits that fell into the right situation where they're getting a lot of minutes and they, playing well. The stats look great. But I don't think that we are getting enough credit from our 2024 recruiting class. I don't think we are. With Adhel kind of still getting used to her body, getting used to playing the game of basketball, and particularly at a high level, it's going to take some time. With Maddy, was playing well and then had that concussion and slowed her down. But she's back to being Maddy. Maddy will play so well tomorrow. Book it. And then Joyce is doing everything that I thought she was going to do, except a little bit more than that. I believe that when it's all said and done, because all recruiting classes are different. Even though you might have a #2 overall recruit, you might have a #1 overall recruit in one particular class, that particular class might not stack up in the talent level as another particular class. Like, oh, Cap, such and such is a #4 overall recruit, but they're not playing like a #4 overall recruit. Well, they might be playing like a #4 overall recruit in that recruiting class, but when you stack 3-4 different classes together, maybe they aren't as talented as some of the other classes. I believe that when it's all said and done, this 2024 recruiting class is going to be special. I believe that it's going to be multiple first-round picks that came out of this class. I believe there's going to be a recruit or two that we're not even talking about right now, come being a junior, going to be the talk of the town because they just haven't had the playing time just yet. I believe that about Maddy McDaniel. When Raven move on and Maddy slides in to that role, it's going to be special. It's going to be special for South Carolina. Once she's getting 20, 25 minutes in a game, once she's went through a off season of getting stronger, she's going to be dynamic. I can't wait to see that. Once Adhel gets stronger and trusts her body, I'm looking for big things from Adhel Tac next year. I always was looking for it next year, not this year. It's kind of like going back and like, did anybody here expect Chloe Kiss when she came over from high school and joined the team? Did anybody expect her to do anything that first year? Nobody did. Adhel is essentially in the same situation. The same situation, but we expect her to be, because she's 6'5", that she's supposed to be all SEC, or we're supposed to get 16, 17 minutes. No, she ain't ready. Same way Chloe wasn't ready. The same way Sania wasn't ready. The same way Breezy wasn't ready. Sometimes you get players who's ready. Raven was ready. Okay? Fulwiley was ready. Tessa was ready. Joyce was ready. Sometimes everybody got to go on their own path. They have to go on their own path and choose, the best opportunity. I shouldn't say the best opportunity to see, because you're always trying to get better and better and better. But sometimes everybody matures at different levels athletically and emotionally. And I think that's how it's going to be with Adhel. She will be a very good player for South Carolina. Fans, stick with her. Stick with her. Trust me. She's the goods. She will be fine. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure, if you're watching me right now, if you have not subscribed to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, make sure you do so. Make sure you do so. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. Like I mentioned yesterday, we got a website popping. It's going to be happening real soon in the development stages of that. There's going to have videos, going to have articles, going to be big time. Because y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. You're now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.